I remember helping my mother shop for her vehicle during the pandemic times, and I was literally getting text messages back from sales reps telling me that if I wasn't prepared to come in $10,000 to $15,000 over sticker price, don't bother texting back.
So I'm here at CarMax today because they just released their earnings, and they were not good. Sales were down. This 2021 RAV4 is $40,000. And that is more expensive than you can get a brand new one for. So after CarMax reported these earnings, the stock market didn't like it for obvious reasons, and their stock sold off by about 10%. All right, so check this out. This is their lot, and it is absolutely slam packed. CarMax is the largest used car dealer in the US. And here is your line of pre-repos.
I think it's so hilarious that he called those Chargers and Challengers pre-repos, because everybody knows that what people do from the hood is wait till tax season, go straight to CarMax, put the down payment down on one of them Chargers or them Challengers. They ride off, and 3 months later, they're right back on the CarMax lot.
To keep up with how CarMax is doing to really judge the health of the used car market. Because really, as the used car market goes, I feel like the economy will as well. It's got 47,000 miles, and the price is... And just to give you the actual numbers, their retail sales were down 7.4%, and their wholesale sales were down 11%. So CarMax actually stated that...
So what he means by their wholesale sales, so CarMax sells cars in store, right? You go to CarMax, they have cars that are brand new in store. So when it comes to the wholesale side, CarMax actually holds weekly auctions where they will sell cars that don't qualify to be on their lot at auction.
A lot of their problems were arising from affordability challenges. So yeah, there are going to be affordability challenges when you're selling used vehicles for more expensive than a new one is. This is almost laughable, right? This is so obvious. Their prices are too high. That's all they're saying. And the thing about it is interest rates are high right now. Inflation is too high. Monthly payments are too high. Yes, CarMax, we know this. And it's even a bigger problem when you're selling cars that are 2 or 3 years old for the same price that you can buy a brand new one for.
So I know that this guy's good at answering car questions, but what he's skipping over is why this is all happening and what CarMax can do about it, or can't. CarMax made the same classic mistake that every single car dealership made during the pandemic. And that is they really overplayed their position when it came to the used car market, especially when we started going through that conductor chip shortage. You see, they knew that they had consumers in a bind. And if you can't buy new cars because there are none on the lot because we have no chips for them, the only other option is used cars. Now, I'm sure just like me, many of you received emails, text messages, phone calls from your local dealerships trying to buy your used car for pretty much any price you would name. They knew that's because they could put them on the lot and sell them for an ungodly amount of money to more desperate consumers. Not only that, but that now puts you in the market for another vehicle. What are you going to buy if there's no new car? A used one. So you combine the fact that there were no new cars with a flood of used cars on the market because there are no chips to put in the new cars. Simple economics, supply and demand, right? Now we come into a place where the economy is starting to recover. The chip shortage is gone for the most part. Now we get to the point where we talk about the short-sightedness when it came to this whole used car market. These dealerships were living as though new cars would never come back to the marketplace, and that all we would ever have was used cars. But when we started to see new cars hit the showroom floor again, what happened to all these used cars that were way overpaid for from the consumer by the dealerships? They're faced with two choices. Either we're going to let these cars go at a loss, or we're going to continue to try to sell them at this ungodly price while we have these new cars sitting on the showroom floor. Now you've got people not buying used cars or new cars because the interest rates have gone out of control. These dealerships are absolutely
2021 Toyota RAV4 XLE Premium. Price here is $39,998. It's got 5,000 miles, so no miles on it, but...
Let's take a look at a brand new RAV4 XLE from Toyota. So real quick, I just went to the Toyota website and built a brand new 2023 RAV4 XLE Premium. Not just the regular XLE, the Premium Edition. I went ahead and added the all-wheel drive 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with direct shift 8-speed, right? If you look at this, the base model MSRP is $34,000 on this vehicle. We end up, as built, at $36,500 for a brand new, undriven vehicle. Let's go back to this. You see here, $39,993 or $8, whatever that is. So still for $3,000 more, you get a 40,000 mile vehicle that isn't even equipped with some of the stuff that Premium Edition is. CarMax is in a world of trouble.
I wanted to pull up, this is a brand new Toyota.
He went ahead and did it.
Trim level, XLE.
I should have watched this video first.
$36,930. And you can buy the used one for $39,998 here. So in CarMax's earnings call, they actually outlined some of the risks, the challenges that they have to go through. They have to give this to their shareholders every quarter. So I want to read exactly what it was. The risk was there are challenges associated with managing a large pool of fast depreciating assets. What does that mean? That means they have a bunch of cars. They know that they're fastly going to go down in value, and that's their whole business. That's a risk. That's a big risk right now. All right, I have not been able to find...
Now, see, had they not been greedy as during the pandemic and actually paid reasonable prices for these used cars during that conductor chip shortage, they wouldn't be in this predicament there and now. But they wanted to make every single dime they could make during that time, and I'm sure they saw record profits in the used car market. Now it's time to pay the piper.
Find a Sienna anywhere, and here's one right here. It's a 2020 model. It's the hybrid edition, XLE. It's got 31,000 miles. And price for that here is $44,998. But it's here, it exists. I'm definitely not a minivan person, but is that not the meanest front end on the minivan, on a minivan that you've ever seen? I like the design on it, it's cool. CarMax also cited that tightening lending practices were also putting a big constraint on the industry. Fewer customers can actually get approved for loans to come and buy these cars. Even CarMax, they actually hold a lot of their notes. They're having to tighten up in this environment because there are more people that are going to default because economic times are tougher. So as they tighten up, the fewer vehicles that they can actually sell because the fewer loans they can actually write. And
that means for all you people out there with bad credit, no more CarMax for you.
And it never fails. Every time I come to CarMax, they have a Maverick. Ford never has a Maverick. CarMax always has a Maverick. This one's a 2023 XL. Price is $33,998, and it's only got
33 for that car.
Miles. It's only got 1,000 miles.
Truck.
Only 1,000 miles. So they literally drove it here from the Ford dealership and then parked it. All right, so the other risk that they outlined is the economic sensitivity associated with selling big ticket items. What does that mean? That means that they sell cars, they sell expensive things, and during a downturn in the economy, like we're going through right now, people don't want to buy these big ticket expensive things. And that's what their business is. That's a risk.
Not people with any sense.
Go back to this Maverick real quick. I am a used car dealer, but I don't have the privilege of knowing like someone like for a Ford dealership or a CarMax what they actually pay for their vehicles. But I do know that I've seen these in some fleet lots, and I'm actually able to see the prices of what they're selling on the fleet level. And I know this XL model of this Maverick, the ones that I've seen have been selling for like $26,000.
What can you do with that truck? I mean, I've seen some small pickup trucks. This looks like a 1989 Nissan type pickup. You know, those little bitty pickups that had no payload, no towing capacity, none of that. That looks like that's what that is. Like a security guard would be driving that around somebody's store lot. That doesn't look like it can do anything at all.
Brand new. That one is pretty much brand new, but they're selling it for $34,000. So they're probably making quite a bit of money on that. One thing that they also said that I thought was interesting was that they were seeing a weakness in consumer confidence.
Of course, there's a weakness in consumer confidence. Eggs are $10 for a carton. Gas is $6.50 a gallon, at least where I live. And then you throw on top of that the fact that we have 7, 8, 9% interest rates for prime credit. That means if you have an 820 credit score like I do, you're going to go to a dealership today and you're going to get 8.5% interest on a new loan. What does that do for a CarMax shopper? You're easily looking at anywhere between 24 to 35.99% on an APR on a vehicle. What kind of confidence would that inspire in you?
Economy is booming or it's terrible, right? And what I really think we should listen to are the companies that are making the money in this economy, the companies that are moving product. And a company like CarMax is who I would listen to kind of gauge the health of the market. And right now they're saying it's weak. They're saying the consumer is weak. They're saying that the consumer confidence is very weak. And when the consumer confidence gets weak, people are scared. And when they're scared, they do not spend money, especially on cars. So I've actually never seen one of these, but this is cool. It's a Toyota RAV4 Prime. And we've got a sticker on it. The price of it, it's a 2022, mileage, 13,000, and the price here is $52,998. Looks awesome. I don't know about that price, but it's very, very cool. So the amount of cars...
I want to see the price on this RAV4 Prime. Let me see here real quick. Brand new RAV4 Prime, starting MSRP $43,000, $10,000 under that one. and it looks identical. They got big problems. Big problems.
That CarMax has actually purchased has gone down by 15%. And CarMax gets cars, they get vehicles in two different ways. One, they buy them straight from consumers. Consumer comes in, sells them their car. The consumer doesn't buy another car.
Look at that car
The second
lot, boy.
way is actually from trade-ins. Consumer comes to CarMax to buy a new vehicle, a new used vehicle, and they trade in their current vehicle
You
to
got to
CarMax,
move cars
and
to
CarMax
move
gives them
cars.
a trade-in value on it.
Look at
So
that.
we know that CarMax in the recent quarters, they've come out and said this, that they want to actually buy fewer vehicles. And they're showing that in the numbers right now because they're purchasing fewer vehicles. And really the reason why they want to buy fewer vehicles is because they know that the car industry is not doing well right now and it's on a downtrend. They know that cars that they're going to buy today, if they don't sell them in 30, 60 days, then the values of those cars is going to be significantly decreased from where the value is right now. So this is a big reason why CarMax doesn't want to buy any vehicles right now, because they know that we're heading into a bad time. They know.
Here's what's going to happen with CarMax right now, or at least what's happening. They're buying vehicles from you for bottom dollar, and then they're flipping them in the auction market. This car lot is jam fucking packed. It's jam packed. They got to move cars to move cars. There's no way that CarMax is buying cars from people right now and putting them on their car lot. Or they're buying a car that qualifies to be on their car lot, and then they're selling ones that have been here too long at auction. This is the worst business model for this particular financial time. This can only end badly.
Know that the car market is not good right now. They know that the values of these used vehicles on the wholesale level and eventually on the retail level are actually going to get crushed in the near future. If they thought the car market was going to be booming for another 6 to 12 months, they would be trying to obtain and buy as many vehicles as possible right now. And they're just not doing that. They're trying to buy fewer vehicles. Just want you guys to look at this lot at CarMax here and notice two things. One, they are completely loaded. They don't have enough spots to fill the cars that they actually have here for sale. That's why you can see some that are facing, I don't even know the word for it, this way versus this way. There you go. And two, show you, it is Saturday at 11:54. And I see two sets of customers down there.
No people.
Okay, so here is a biggie. Their actual wholesale price per unit was down $1,300 or 12%. And all this is saying is that dealers are actually less willing to pay up for the vehicles that CarMax is sending to their auctions. And we're seeing this across the market. Wholesale prices across the market, whether you're looking at Manheim, you're looking at Odessa, you're looking at here at CarMax, all wholesale prices are going down because dealers can't pay what they had been paying for these used vehicles because they're not able to sell them. So I was actually able to talk to a CarMax employee recently, and he was saying that when consumers were coming in, they were getting loans through CarMax. CarMax holds a lot of their own notes, and they were coming to CarMax and able to buy a vehicle, and they would tell him that, you know what, I've been to a lot of other places, and I wasn't able to get approved anywhere else. But here at CarMax, I was able to get a loan, I was able to get into this vehicle. And in the short term, that's actually a good thing because CarMax is able to turn sales. But in the long term, I think this is horrible. What that means is CarMax is actually writing loans to people that have been turned away from other lenders because they weren't qualified to actually get this loan. And the reason why this could be so bad for CarMax later on is because a lot of these subprime borrowers are actually going to default in the harder economic times. And I always like to check 4Runners whenever I see them. This one is a 2022 4Runner SR5. And it's got 36,000 miles.
I like it.
And the price on it is $40,000. So I know that I've looked at some brand new ones, and the prices on those are right around the mid 40s. So used one, 40 grand here, new ones around the mid 40s. We are already seeing this massive spike in delinquencies and in repos. And if CarMax is not tightening up at the same rate that all these other banks are tightening up, then they're going to be the ones that are stuck with a lot of these repos that they're not going to be able to get their money back out of. So I think this is actually a very scary thing for CarMax to be holding their own notes right now, because the environment that we're going into is not one that you want to be in the auto lending industry. So let's look at this GMC Denali. I like it. This is sweet. It's a 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. It's got 47,000 miles, and the price is $69,998. So in my opinion, I think CarMax is actually in two terrible businesses right now. One, the used car business.
Yep.
We know that the used car prices are getting hammered, wholesale and retail, because people can't afford to pay what the prices are right now. And number two, the auto lending industry. We already know that there have been a lot of banks pull out of this industry. There have been a lot of banks that don't want to be in this space, and that's for good reason, because the economy is getting worse. Delinquencies are going to continue to rise. Repos are going to continue.
So I was in the insurance brokerage industry for about 15 years. And I did a lot of business with CarMax. I had CarMax LAX in Los Angeles, all the way down to CarMaxes in San Diego and Riverside area. I had about 6 CarMaxes that I would do business with directly through my insurance brokerage. And the thing about CarMax lending to their customers is CarMax would take the deals from the better customers. They would send the shitty customers over to Santander or Westlake or, one of those other subprime lenders. Now they're at a point where they got to get loans through the door. So now CarMax is starting to eat some of those subprime customers. They are not accustomed to doing that. They don't have an appetite for that. Santander, Westlake, some of those other subprime companies do. CarMax is about to find themselves in a place where they are no longer taking in the money on a reliable level that they were before through their own lending company. So this is going to become problematic for them, just to kind of explain what he was talking about with them. Now, as far as what Santander and Westlake and companies like that are doing, only God knows, because I don't even want to know what the rates look like now, because 10 years ago, when I was really kind of hitting my stride with CarMax as an insurance brokerage, they were doing loans for up to 29% on people's vehicles.
Continue to rise. And when this happens, the banks, the holders of the notes, the CarMax is actually going to take a lot of losses when they ultimately have to repo a lot of these vehicles. Okay, so I'll say one thing that I actually love about CarMax is that you can
Let's do a little bit of math. CarMax is having trouble selling the vehicles as they stand now. Do y'all know what a repoed vehicle looks like? Cigarette burns, got door dents, they don't change the oil, bald tires, burnt out brakes. All of this type of stuff is what you're going to pick up. They're not going to pick up this vehicle repoed in this condition. So then what happens? They take the loss as a lender. Then they have to take the vehicle that they sold as the lender from their showroom floor. They're then going to have to sell it at auction for a much lower price. The losses are going to be astronomical.
Come here, you cannot be hassled by anybody, and all the cars are open. So you can, if there's something that you want to see, just the feel of it or whatever, look at, like this nice Denali. This is what I want for my birthday, baby. That's a message from my wife. But if you want to come and feel how something is and look in it and touch it or whatever, you can come here and just, except for that one. This one you can open, yeah. So most of them, they're open. So you can come try some stuff out. And now here is the big number for the retail consumer. CarMax's average selling price per unit has actually come down now $1,200. So for all of you down in the comments saying, well, I'm not seeing prices come down yet, this is just more proof for you showing that yes, prices are coming down. Even a place like CarMax, who has stated in recent quarters that they want to keep their prices higher, they want to keep their margins higher, and they're not going to do these fire sales, they're not going to lower their prices. Well, now you know what they figured out? They actually have to lower their prices to be able to sell these cars. And everyone else in the auto industry is figuring out the same thing. You have to lower your prices right now if you want to move metal. CarMax has had to lower their prices. Prices across the industry are coming down. And no, they're not coming down as much as you want to, and no, they're not coming down as fast as you want them to. But the fact
Hey, when y'all walk into these dealerships and you're looking at these vehicles, if you're stupid enough to go try to buy a new vehicle or used vehicle right now with 8, 9, 10% interest rates, I want y'all to remember how these car salesmen treated you guys during the pandemic times. I want you to remember that. I remember helping my mother shop for her vehicle during the pandemic times, and I was literally getting text messages back from sales reps telling me that if I wasn't prepared to come in $10,000 to $15,000 over sticker price, don't bother texting back. If you experience anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'm interested to find out what you guys' dealership interactions were like during the pandemic.
Fact is, prices are going down. All right, so check this out. This is their lot, and it is absolutely slam packed. Now, to be fair, I did talk to somebody who works here, and they said this was a distributor store. So I think what that means is that they actually feel a lot of the needs of a lot of the stores.
That's exactly what it means. So the distributor stores, like in our area, our distributor store, which I work with, was in Ontario, California. All of the cars filtered through there from the auctions, right? And then all of the traffic was the biggest traffic at that particular store. So if your distributor stores look like this, the distributor stores could never keep cars on the lot. They always had cars being dropped off. They were always sending cars back out to other CarMaxes and things of that nature. If your distributor store looks like this, then what the heck do the other stores look like that are not getting the prime first picks of all the vehicles?
Stores around the area, so they're going to have more vehicles here normally than most of the other stores are going to have anyway.
They also move way more
just
vehicles.
To be fair. All right, so I hope they're a distributor store, because look at this. I can barely even walk right here.
That's
I actually
crazy.
can't walk through there. So
Jesus.
we're not even going to try to go through that gap. We're going to go around. Oh, one side. So they do actually have some Teslas over here, but I can only find the price on one of them. It's a 2021 Model Y long range. It's got 24,000 miles, and the price on it's $46,000. I almost wonder if they don't put the prices on these Teslas because they're just waiting for Elon to do another price cut, and they'll have to drop their prices right after he does that. So whatever the new price is that he's going to charge for on the next price cuts, that's what they'll have to mark their used ones down to. So Teslas are kind of like lobster, where you're going to pay the market value, and whatever Elon's going to set the market at, that's what you're going to pay for it.
All right, guys, so there you have it. If you are in the market for a new car or a used car, this is what you have to look forward to. I would tell you right now that buying a used car would be an abject disaster based upon the fact that you're going to be dealing with somebody else's BS when it comes to the maintenance and usage of their vehicle. You have no idea what they were doing, and the fact that you're going to be paying more for a used vehicle right now than you would for a new vehicle. Please be a smart shopper. Do a lot of online shopping, do a lot of checking around before you decide to settle on a vehicle. And please, please, please don't even think about buying a used car vehicle in this market. If you guys like content like this, I want you guys to leave a comment below. Go ahead and like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you can get notifications anytime I drop a new video. I'll try to do more content on a more regular basis because I do love doing reaction videos. Other than that, I know you guys can get your information from anywhere, but you're here with me. Be blessed.